हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा। बहुत कम लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो अपने काम को, अपने प्रोफेशन को पूजा, साधना, इबादत की तरह लेते हैं। तो जो लेते हैं इबादत की तरह, फिर ऊपर वाला भी उनके काम को जन्नत की तस्वीर बना देता है। इन लोगों में से एक नाम है ए आर रहमान का। एंड आई कैन नॉट कॉल हिम ए आर रहमान, आई हैव टू कॉल हिम रहमान सर, because he's the Mozart of music. He is the god of music, and music has such a healing power that I myself have been healed so many times just listening to his music in terrible times, such as lockdown as well. So I'm very proud, very happy, and very honored to welcome you on this show, sir.
Thank you. I'm just a student of music, and I know that out of love you gave me so many titles, but I still love to be a student. Not because of my humility, but that's a fact.
True. And we also welcome Ehan Bhatt. How are you, Ehan?
I'm good. And how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I must say कि जिसके साथ आप बैठे हैं, स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहे हैं, उनके साथ स्क्रीन शेयर करने में सालों की तपस्या लगती है। बहुत लकी हैं आप।
Yeah, that's what I keep telling my parents and family. I don't know how much what has happened, that God has been so kind to me that He made me come across such amazing human being.
Actually, I want to actually meet your mother and ask her क्या
Exactly.
Okay, to begin with, Rahman sir, I want to tell you one secret. So today I put it in my WhatsApp group of my college, and I told them, guys, I'm going to be in conversation with Rahman sir, and everybody wrote Mustafa. So, you know, in my college anthem. And every time we had a good time, everybody would sing Mustafa, Mustafa, don't worry, Mustafa. हम हैं तुम्हारे मुस्तफा. Rahman sir, thank you for bringing a lot of joy in Hindi music when it was very, very traditional. You brought in a lot of bohemia, a lot of crazy music to a time when we were mostly listening to some very conventional music. What do you remember of the time when you came to Hindi genre with Rangila and Roja and Mustafa and things like these, music like these?
Yeah, I think my attitude when I was doing music in the 90s was like, I was not interested in films because I was working in films like 10 years. I was a player. So I wanted to do something else. I wanted to do something which nobody would do, like probably an album or something. So I'll have time to create something for a year. And I worked with all this, like David Byrne and some of them who came to Chennai, El Shankar, and all that changed my attitude towards film music. Is not the only music. There are other, ways to express your music. And I think my destiny was film music. And when I did Roja, I thought, okay, this will be the last movie. After that, you can do what you love to do. Then I realized that you can't get, this is not a fluke. I mean, getting so much love from people, not just, in Tamil Nadu, from Andhra Pradesh, from Maharashtra, from North India, then from Indians abroad. This is not a fluke, and there is, I think, God trying to tell something, you that do something which people love, you can change course of things. And this duality in me, like, tomorrow I'm going to leave everything. Enough. And I've been working from childhood. Now is the time to relax. And, I could probably rent out my studio and survive. I don't need all this. But that never changed. Then I got tired of this feeling. And then I was trying, don't fake it, man. This is it. You're there and you have to do it. Just don't try to. If you want, then leave and go. My other self was telling my other self, like, then I realized, sorry?
Leave and go where?
No, just to go out of all the fame and, that kind of a zone. Because I was famous from the age of 13. I was playing in Wonder Balloon, TV shows and all this stuff. So I think that kind of gave me the courage that this is not a lasting thing. I can get out of it. Exit can happen anytime. Gave me the freedom to say, I'll do whatever I want. Like, whatever in my, which appeals to me, not what other people want me to do, but what I want to do. So that courage came from that thinking that, and because there's no security attached to this.
I understand that.
I need to be there.
I remember Rahman sir, और उसी जमाने में की ये बात है, किसी ने ये कहा था आपके बारे में, ये जो आदमी है ना, कांच का गिलास भी गिरेगा ना, उसकी आवाज से भी म्यूजिक बना देता है.
Wow.
So you found music from places which an average person couldn't think of. So my question is, Rahman sir, you made songs like Urvashi, Urvashi, then there was There Is Matar Gashti, then there was Gilda Pool, and Ye Jo Desh Hai Mera, and Hamma Hamma, and so on and so forth. Your music can arouse romance, the feelings of romance, emotion of anger, emotion of patriotism, love, sadness, happiness, every emotion. How do you do that? And are there different musical instruments for different kind of emotions?
I think to make your mind, control your mind is the biggest thing for a human being, right? The mind actually controls the physical body. And so when you talk about emotions, and that's why this extension of writing a story and doing a music-based movie came in called 99 Songs. If I can do that with songs, can I do a more compound, a more bigger version of the whole thing so that people can experience a whole, like a full meal rather than having only 2 songs or 3 songs, because things are coming slowly smaller and smaller. So how do you do a musical narrative movie? It is very difficult because music is something you listen to in the car. And if it's a good musical, people go for it. But almost every Indian movie now in every region is a musical because there are 5 songs in it. And how do you create that creativity to make people engaged in it? Because it needs to connect with the storyline, it needs to connect with the screenplay, and it needs to talk about much more than just heightening the emotion.
But how many kinds of musical instruments have you in all your life brought together to create music? How many?
There's no limit. I feel like the human voice can just, in a cappella, you can create an emotion without any instrument. We can also create with 200 voices and then a 100-piece orchestra. I've done that also in many, scores, like my Chinese score, Bhagat Singh, Mangal Pandey, Lagan. Then you can, when scale comes in, and also the mode of recordings, recording methods have changed now. Initially we were all recording to magnetic tape in one track. Now we can have, 1,000 tracks. Everything has changed. So using all these tools to create an emotion and taking all these technical things out and just people to just more to some, like the Oracle in 99 Songs. It was composed for a piano. Then slowly we realized that it needs an orchestra. So we went to, I think, Budapest to record the orchestra. Some of the orchestra was done in Chennai, some of them in Budapest.
Ehan, I'm coming to you. सब लोग ये पूछ रहे हैं, ये कौन लकी लड़का है? मैंने आपका इंस्टाग्राम, सोशल मीडिया से मुझे पता लगा कि आप कश्मीर से हैं. And I thought, what a beautiful setting. His film Roja was a story set in Kashmir, and it had terrorism, it had romance, it had love and music and marriage and honeymoon sequences. And for every stage of life and the story, he had different kind of music. Tell me, what does Kashmir think of Rahman Saab? What does music, what's the role of music that plays in Kashmiri people's daily life?
Whenever you land in Kashmir, when you're on plane and you pass through those mountains, somehow your mind starts to hum the tune. Hey, ye hasi wadiyan. And and recently also in Rockstar that he has put some Kashmiri traditional folk songs. So his music has inclined our culture. Because of that song. People kind of were introduced again to Kashmir once more with the beauty that it was choreographed, and Rahman says this legendary song. So Kashmiris are in fact I would say in my family they didn't believe it. Like the cousins I grew up with, my elder brother is a huge fan of Rahman sir, and we have all his cassettes. And then when we got to when I broke the news to them that hey guys, you know what, I'm doing Rahman sir's film. They're like, हम फोन काट रहे हैं, ज़्यादा मजाक मत किया. I said, नहीं यार, really I'm doing it यार. It's like, what are you saying? How? So the first question, how is he? What is that? Like he's like the best human you will come across,
Yeah, that's true. But I must say that you guys are blessed with the best teachers. One is your Roman nose. So हमारे यहाँ कहावत है, down the bridge of your nose is the Kashmiri.
Rahman sir loves Kashmiri food.
Of course. It is such a beautiful land, beautiful faces, beautiful scenery. God gave it like all the gifts that He had to the land of Kashmir. Okay, Rahman sir, coming back to you. The movie is titled 99 Songs, but the songs in the film are only 14, right?
That's not enough for you. You was you want the next 85 songs to you. Oh my
Yes.
God. This is total greed. I
But
was
I
one.
actually thought, what a whammy of an album it would be if it has 99 songs. Imagine. It would be like worth every penny
Yeah,
that I
I
put in.
think if you once you watch the movie and then you sleep in the dream, you'll get song number 53, song number 51, song number. It's very subjective. Like each one can see and hear the other songs. I'll make sure that I'll speak to God and like send all those.
Rahman sir, you treat your workplace like a temple, ibadat gah ki tarah aap usko wo karte hain. So that also adds a lot to your reputation as an artist, as a musician. But tell me, a person who's reached the zenith of music, why does he want to come into production and direction? Because it's a different field for you.
I feel like in life, traveling actually expanded my vision. Traveling and spending time with people like Shekhar Kapoor, Dave Stewart. I had shared a flat in London when I was doing Bombay Dreams, and Shekhar Kapoor was doing something, and he was doing Four Feathers and all those movies. So problem is you mix with certain people and something sticks on to you.
Yeah.
The way he used to narrate stories and make it seem like it's all simple actually kind of influenced me. And then from there, I went to Hollywood after the Oscars and I spent loads of time with great filmmakers, 4-5 years with that community. And I would just throw an idea, like, what about this? And they say, oh, that's a great idea. Did you register it? Like, why register it? No, this sounds good. It sounds fresh. And this, you can do this, you can do that. And because people are, nobody say, oh, this is a bad thing. You're a composer. Nobody judged you there. So that gave me the freedom to say that maybe it's easy. But it was not easy. I had to learn so many things, and there were many trial by fire moments. But I think I needed all that. I needed that patience. I needed to be that leader for my team, to give them that confidence, say that I'm in a good hand.
I love this song. It's been playing back to back in my house. That rhyme is so beautiful, Pyasya and Guru ka. Very beautiful lyrics. I found the lyrics to be very beautiful.
I think the writer is Noor.
Ashika.
She's saying Ashika. Ashika also. I think Navneet Kaur, she is working in an advertising agency, and she had actually transcribed my script before I met Vishwesh. She was transcribing my ideas in letters. And so she said, I can also write. And I said that I felt like she has so much of experience that she wrote those beautiful songs. And yeah.
Okay. But that is quite contradictory to the imagery behind of your music. See, I remember even Mustafa was a Tamil song, and then later it became a hit Hindi song. But there are so many songs जिनका Hindi translation जब हुआ तो उसका कोई सरताज नहीं था. Like
why? Because the lyric translator in Hindi has so much of challenges. He needs to sync the lip sync. Yeah. So it should be synced with the lip. And it's a torturous. The biggest torture of creativity is to try to sync the lip and make sense in poetry. Yeah. And because this one is a Hindi one, and we had to do that in Tamil, and Tamil is my mother tongue, I had 14, 15 revisions for each song because I could torture all these people. Get it more closer, get it more closer, get it more. And I think it's paid off. I think it's getting a great reception, and I'm very pleased with the reception.
Yeah, but that is true, isn't it, Rahman sir, that you focus more on the sound, what gets into the ear, the music, the instrument, as opposed to the lyrics. Obviously, that's why there is a difference between there is a Gulzar and there is a Rahman. Obviously, then there are two different people for different kind of things, but you focus on the sound.
No, yes, and the sound, but also the lyrics. Because if you look at some of the lyrics, if you look at the lullaby has all the aspirations of a mother hidden in 3 lines. She's pregnant with this boy. I don't want to reveal the story. And she says that she sings saying that I want you to be the song of what David sang. David in the Bible and in Holy Scriptures say that he was the person who nature wanted to listen to a song, like birds wanted to listen to a song, animals and,
Wow.
and the river wanted to listen to. So that is the power of David's music. And that's the power of Krishna's flute. When he used to, Lord Krishna, when he played the flute, there's so many stories of how lilting it was. So she mentions this imagery, and then the verses which go through a person's mind and then influences and gives good vibrations. So Kabir's verses, and so in each language we try to make it authentic towards that language. And
I'll tell you a very interesting anecdote, Rahman sir. Akbar asked Birbal, tell me one line which will make me sad when I'm happy and which will make me happy when I'm sad. Birbal replied, this too shall pass. And imagine Bulle Shah writes, in fact I have it written here, दुश्मन मरे ता खुशी न करिए, दुश्मन मरे ता खुशी न करिए, सजना भी मर जाना है.
Yeah. I keep telling that to everyone. They think the world is becoming like that. I say everybody's going to die. The good people are going to die. Bad people are going to die. And the world will keep, there's a circle of life coming back. Goodness will come back. Goodness will come back. And then bad will come. Then again, good will come. This is a circle of life. So be at peace and accept the destiny and do your karma, which is your family, which is, playing what you're playing. Husband, a father, a son, and a great citizen to a nation which is giving you in abundance. In
abundance. That brings me to my next question. Now, here is one person who's achieved it all, and here is another man who's just set out on his journey, the career. I want to ask the both of you, when lockdown happened, we were totally, I mean, we didn't know what this is, what God has given to us. Or kya dunya bachegi ki bachegi hi nahi. It was like, the fear of having zombies outside your house. People were not opening the door. एक वक्त आप जोक आया था रहमान सर की मछली की तरह हो गए हैं, हाथ लगाओगे तो डर जाएगी, बाहर निकालोगे तो मर जाएगी. So how did this lockdown treat you, and what were your earnings from the lockdown, and what were your learnings from the lockdown?
I always feel that we are powerless to the ultimate, we're all powerless, because if God wants to test us, he can test it in any way. He just brought a small virus and made the biggest countries, biggest nations kneel down and not even a war. It's just a small little virus. The speed at which people are going, the speed at which greed was going, the speed at which, like oppression was going. So I think it had all to stop and say, if I want to kill you all, I can kill you all. Just behave yourselves. It's almost like that kind of a statement for me. And also I felt like for climate change, warriors, it was a good thing, because in Chennai, we never seen so much rain. And when I used to go to LA, and I'm in LA, when I take a picture, everything's so clear. The same camera, when I brought it to Chennai, it was always like little faded. I don't know why is that. And that clearness which I saw there had come last year when I was taking pictures. It had that clarity. So then you decide, oh my God, it's because of pollution. And all that pollution actually died, and there was rain. There were birds near my windows. It was like a forest. And that was incredible to see, all of us behaving ourselves. It's not our fault. There's nobody to guide really to have a code of conduct to how to behave. And now it's coming in. The whole world is uniting to do that.
Yeah, with all the fashionable masks now being made. People thought, how would I look with this? People didn't have any idea how would life change.
I mean, the freedom of wearing the mask is fantastic for me. Like, I was going to Mumbai for a promotion and I was wearing the mask and not one person came to me. I was like, yes. For the first time, I felt good about traveling, even though the mask was suffocating. That is such a blessing. I could walk and I could just be myself. I could watch people. Otherwise, with constant, love pouring in you. 7 photo.
That's so true. There was national awards have been announced, and I have always had a lot of respect for people, technicians, artists down south. I shot a show with Kamal Hassan Saab a couple of months ago, And what lovely stories he had to say. In national awards also, every year you watch, Malayalam films, Tamil films will take the best categories. The best films, the best director, best script, things like that. The focus on the craft is so high down south, and particularly the Malayalam films. So one of my favorite films, in fact, I recommended it on the show for a weekend watch, is Kanjivaram. What a beautiful story. So down south, the films are not just whip and whack, they're not just about look and costumes and drama and romance. They have some real good stories to tell, and particularly from the people who are the have-nots. Now, Kamal Hassan also came here, worked for a couple of years, and went back. And I asked him, why did you go back? We missed you. He said, I went back to better discipline of filmmaking. Huh? Similarly, I see you came to Bombay, you went to LA, you've gone like the whole world you've kind of conquered, but you still live in Chennai. What is it about down south? And I, being a North Indian girl, I lived in UP and Delhi and various cities. We could not understand what is Malayalam cinema and Tamil cinema. There's not much respect and there was not even exposure, but there's brilliant work happening down south.
I think the risk is low when you have a lower budget movies and you have more freedom to innovate. You have more freedom to express. My reason for my family not shifting is also two reasons, because we are South Indian people and my whole community is here, my friends, my family, everybody is here. And and also not crowd a place so much that it's bursting, and it's important now with the internet, like how we are doing this interview, things have changed. Now people have to spread out and give breathing space to cities. It's very important that we all don't go splurge. Of course, you have to, I make trips, but I respect a city. That's one of the reasons why also, it is one of the reasons why I didn't move. And I get so much love from Bombay filmmakers and so much of respect and so much of, I'm very, very grateful to the Hindi speaking audience.
Okay, and one of my last questions, Ehan, how good a producer is he? Does he pamper the actors on set?
I think he's one of the best producers that you will ever come.
He doesn't feed me. He makes me. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's like one of the best producers, honestly, you will ever come across. Like he's a great musician, but more than that,
I don't know how to be a producer. This is actually a convenience for me to express myself. And so I was like, there's a famous proverb in Tamil which says the calf is more fearless than the cow. So when you're new, you're just more fearless and you do things which are crazy, and then oh my God, why did I do that? How did I do that? So I'm like that.
Oh wow. So tell me more about the film. Tell me more about the film. Something that is not there on the internet. I don't like internet. Tell me real human stories.
The film is actually, it's a university which film university. If I had gone to a university, it would be like the 99 Songs making film university. You make a film and you learn everything. You don't have to go to university. You just push to the core to find solutions which are not in textbooks, which are not going to be taught by people. You discover your own answers. Because that's what I discovered, that nobody's going to teach you how to survive. You need to survive. And how? Because you place your product in the world and see where it stands and keep tweaking till it is eligible for people to watch.
I am so full of respect for one thing about your life. You've lost your father so early. You were 4 siblings, and your mother had taken up the whole responsibility of being both the parents for the 4 children that you were. And you started earning from the age of 10. You actually were a, what do you call that, roadie? What's that word?
Roadie.
Roadie, yeah. You used to pick up instruments, and then she asked you to learn piano so that you could, actually play. And you couldn't even go to school because of that. And here you are, the best universities in the world are giving you honorary doctorate. You've taken all the awards. What is it? कहते हैं ना, गिरते हैं सवारी मैदाने जंग में, वो किसी क्या गिरेगा जो घुटनों के बल चले. What is it in misery that creates the biggest heroes?
I think that quest for the passion. I've seen many people. I think when you do the conventional way, it gives you a satisfaction that see, I've got this credibility. But when you don't have that, you achieve for greatness in different ways. Life teaches you the best things, and there's so much of responsibility when people trust you, and this is what life teaches you. I think life teaches you to be responsible. Life teaches to be humble. Life teaches you, and you know that when you push your pride, you're gonna fall. The pride of their creative ego is very good. Ambition to make the greatest thing is actually to your art. That is actually a seva for me. But the pride for your personal self, now I've got all these awards, will finish you, because that actually stops you from growing, and it closes the door of newness, and you become trapped in your own, glory, which is going to finish you. So
And
I
do you
am
read-
very open.
And do you read books?
I read books, yeah. I read books, but not full books. People like Ehan also sends me poetry, sends me mystic stuff and all suddenly, and like, oh my God, this guy is crazy like me. He sends me, what does he mean by this when Rumi and Shams meet? Why does Rumi say this to Shams? I'm like, I don't know, boss. I'm not your peer or something.
ओके गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच. आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया रहमान सर, हमारी जिंदगियों को रोशन करने के लिए, हमारी जिंदगियों में इतनी हीलिंग, इतना प्यार, इतना सोलफुल म्यूजिक देने के लिए, और हिंदुस्तान को पूरी दुनिया के नक्शे पर रोशन करने के लिए आपका बहुत शुक्रिया. एंड भट्ट साहब, आपको एक बहुत अच्छा करियर मुबारक हो, बहुत अच्छी स्टार्ट मुबारक हो, और पूरी अच्छी शुभकामनाओं के साथ हम आपसे यहाँ विदा लेते हैं with the quote again that what you were seeking has actually taught you, and all the best.
Thank you so much.